Next is the team from Bharat Earth Movers Limited, comprising of Sri Hanumesh, Sri Jaya Kumar S, Sri Singha Velan, Sri Bharat S, Sri Raghu Vamsi P, and Sri Chandra K. However, only Sri Hanumesh could reach today, so he'll be taking. The team has been awarded the patent for invention of control system for an automatic power shift transmission, which is being widely used in various vehicles indigenously manufactured by BEML. Sri Hanumesh. Now I call upon the team from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, comprising of Sri Narsingha Satpathy, Sri Krishna Murari. The team has been awarded the patent for invention of a new manufacturing process for composite tail rotor blade for helicopters. The invention has significantly enhanced the reliability and strength of tail rotor blade of ALH and LCH helicopter manufactured by HAL.
Come here more to hear and learn from all of you all, because it's absolutely critical for India to not just be talking about indigenization, but to see what is it that is required to bring that motivation for people who want to innovate, people who want to design, people who want to fabricate, people who want to do the drawings, people who want to manufacture for defense. There's already very clearly, and I can say it with a certain degree of authority, there is already a keenness among a lot of young minds to come back to India, even from Silicon Valley, and say, I'll do the startups job here. I'd rather be in this country and do it here. Although the opportunities abroad are far more inviting for them. But I've heard this, and I've also seen many of them come back. In fact, I've tried to facilitate to an extent the policy that has to help the startups, and so, therefore I can tell you the world has already seen people come back to India and start their initiatives as startups, because they want to do something new, they want to do something which is innovative enough, and that therefore would help the country to be a better manufacturing hub. I've seen this for the commercial reasons. But what I would like to see is an equal fervor among innovators, among startups, among those who want to do something for defense related and defense, particularly for defense related activities. And in this, it's very difficult to draw the line, because things which pertain to hard engineering, things which pertain to communications can also be adopted for defense-related activities. So, I know I'm probably talking of an area where there's a lot which has started happening. But the reason why, and I credit Dr. Ajay Kumar for having gone on a full fervor to have this mission, Raksha, Gyan, Shakti, because that's the one which is giving the impetus needed for moving towards innovating for defense. And in this, the requirement, the necessity, the need for having mission Gyan Shakti like program for defense is only because defense is always seen as a very difficult area to come in with a commercialized product in hand. Defense is seen as an area in which probably much transparency doesn't prevail when you want to buy a thing, when you want to procure it for the purpose of defense. Defense again is seen as an area in which technical requirements, be it of quality, be it of certain standards for performance, or be it of even necessity for use, are not really frequently shared. And as a result, anyone who wants to innovate, or anyone who wants to do something towards commercializing some product which is patented, hesitates to approach defense-related sectors. The ministry, for instance, They would rather go to the industry ministry, they would rather go to food processing ministry, they would rather go to steel ministry, they would go to any other ministry where they think they have a prospect, rather than approach defense, because the preconceived notion, and there is justification for the preconceived notion too, is it's very difficult to even break in and then have a dialogue and then see if there is a possibility for commercially producing something which the defense might need. So it is that kind of a barrier which I think we in policy making will have to break that down, ensure that you are able to benefit from young minds and new minds and innovative minds which can do something for you, so that the risk, so that the rigor, manual rigor, so that the kind of benefit that you will derive from better engineered products are available for you. So from the point of view of facilitating, yes, Dr. Ajay Kumar together with the entire ministry will have to do a lot more to open up for people who want to come in to say, look, I have a product, I have something which I have innovated, do you want to have somebody who can produce it for defense, and so on, because each time an innovation is patented, the innovator himself may not be interested in producing the product. You will have to find somebody who is going to be commercially able to utilize that and produce it in a scale which is required by any captive buyer also. So I would think it is important for us in the ministry to make sure that we facilitate it, we make sure policy enables it, we make sure finance also is available, we make sure then that it is found a market for. So when I'm talking about in this context of mission Raksha, Gyan, Shakti, I would place it into two silos. That which has got to be innovated, that which has got to be therefore patented, will have to be driven by our necessity. Army or Air Force or Navy would want to be having a certain product. It is necessary for us to have it. We don't know where to obtain it, or from wherever we can obtain it, it's beyond belief expensive. Can we not have an Indian producer who can do it without having to buy it or license it, manufacture it from a license owner? That's where you need innovation and also that kind of a production which will be driven by the necessity. Sometimes, of course, the necessity may not be identified because you're getting along with your day-to-day job of, using your machines for what they are for. One of the policy changes, therefore, which Dr. Ajay Kumar has been instrumental in bringing is, we don't identify the necessity. If you have a product which you think you can give us, please startups approach us, suo moto, we'll be able to test it, and after that say you can use it for whichever purpose. And then there can always be supply and so on. So that necessity driven for individuals is one thing, and for the country is because you do not want byproducts constantly paying up your foreign exchange, that which you can otherwise produce. Not very attractively called import substitution. You want it, but you can produce it in India, is just not for substitution, but also to use your creative genius to be able to give us products which will help us. So I put all this into the box of necessity. But there is this other box, which is a typical box, which is, there is a curious mind. It need not necessarily be outside, which is existing outside, we recognize it. But among the uniformed officers who are here, who are users of very many things, you know how things work, how systems work, how little engineering goods work in your context.